My family and I recently purchased an abandoned and neglected 2-acre piece of property. Our plan is to renovate and bring life back to this land. Today, we set a piece of that puzzle in place because today we're going to build a brand new chicken coop that's fit for a brand new homestead. If you've been around my channel before, you probably know that I am flush with tools. You're going to see me use those tools. However, really all you need is a circular saw, a driver of some sort, and some screws. You can pretty much get through most of this with just those tools. I'm using 2x2s for the framing of our 6 foot by 6 foot by 6 foot chicken coop. So I'm ripping some 2x4s right in half. When we bought this property, the previous owner left a bunch of 2x4 by 12s on the back porch. So cutting those in half gives me my 6 foot dimensions that this chicken coop will eventually be. Me and my little helper, we're laying out all the pieces for our walls on the ground. Normally, I wouldn't do that, but I wanted to give my little helper a good visual concept of what we were trying to accomplish. And by the way, I didn't expect her, or any of my children for that matter, to help with this project. I just remember waking up that morning and having this little face in my face, and then I had this little shadow with me all day. And I think she was really looking forward to this project because I'd been talking about it for days leading up to this. And she, if nothing else, is a huge animal lover, and she loves her chickens. And I think that she was just really excited about building them a new home. In fact, I kept expecting her to lose interest at some point and then kind of bounce off or wander off somewhere, but she didn't. She stayed with me pretty much all day, and later you'll see that we pick up a few extra hands along the way. A simple 24-inch on-center layout is what we're using. No, nada, zip. No need to measure for windows and doors right now. Just measure 24 inches, mark, and screw. You can't get much more simple or easy. This is hard work. Just kidding. It's not really. After all 4 walls are framed out, it is time to attach the side panels. These are 4x8 sheets, and there are 2 different ways that these can be attached depending on your comfort level. First, if you're a professional like me, you could measure the framed wall from the top to the bottom and cut the panel to that length. The problem with this way is if your framing isn't square, it can be a little frustrating trying to figure out what's wrong when the panel doesn't line up just right. But it is a beautiful thing when it does. The second way, and the way that I prefer, simply because it eliminates the need for measurements, is to set a panel on the frame. These are tongue and groove panels, by the way, so we're trying to get the tongue in the groove right now. Then I can mark a line flush with an end and just trim that flush. All right, I picked up a few helpers. Once all 4 walls are framed and paneled, it is time for the rubber to meet the road. The foundation we are using, or we have chosen to use, are CMUs. concrete masonry units. Those are concrete blocks for simple and easy users. We were the recipients of about 100 of these things when we bought the property. They had been used for various things all over the place. As we started cleaning up, we discovered more and more of these, so we're putting them to good use. I have to say, the four of us were really having a good time putting this thing together. There you go. One more?
One more. We should have a party after this. If I walk in here, I'm going to be like, I'm going to make this my own food. Be like, thanks, Dad, for building my house.
You got it. Time for the third wall. She's graduated to solo use. That's my girl. Now, before we can put the fourth wall up, we need to cut an opening. Otherwise, we just have a box with no way out. Or in. The door is the most logical place to start, methinks. And this is the simplest and easiest way I know to make a door. I start by drilling a hole along the inside of one of the middle studs. Now, remember earlier I said I got tools, so I'm gonna use those tools? Well, I got a router and a flush cut bit. That makes a very square and very straight cutout. You could use a circular saw for this. Just drill 4 holes, one at each corner for the door. You could then snap a chalk line on the outside of the building, and then you could plunge cut your circular saw for all 4 lines. However, if you're not familiar or used to working with a circular saw, that can be kind of dangerous. You could also use a jigsaw. You know, there are probably a dozen different ways you could do this, and it's not really practical for me to spend the entire video going over each individual way. You're smart, you do you. Now the trusses, they are an aspect that really needs its own video. I'm not gonna go into them here because I have a workshop / shed build series coming up where I will spend an entire video talking about trusses, how I build them, how I stick them together, how I lift them with my strength of 1,000 suns, all that good stuff. I will say that this is a pretty standard type of truss for small structures like this. I myself cut the pieces and angles and assembled the first one while the kids watched, and then I threw a box of screws at them and said, figure it out. I'm getting some coffee. I think they did a wonderful job, just for the record. 2 of these trusses are gonna serve as the gable ends, so they need some paneling. Again, the easiest way I know is to attach whatever panels you have laying around in whatever shape they happen to be laying around in. Don't try to cut them to shape before you stick them on. That's just an exercise in frustration. After they are done with that, I will take it from there. I'll start by attaching one of the 2 gable ends, the back one in this case. Before I go any further with the roof, I kind of need a 4th wall. I figure now would also be a good time to finish up the foundation. The blocks that we used were placed about an inch apart, and then we filled the voids with gravel. That way if anything digs underneath the chicken coop, all they're gonna find is gravel and concrete blocks. And I have to say the kids did a very nice job on that. Now it's back to putting the trusses up while our new coop gets a new coat of paint. I need some truss bracing. And this is so I can not only attach the roofing material, but also some chicken wire to keep out some unwanted critters. Okay, roof is on. Time to cut some windows. We'll just clean that up. These not only serve to let in some natural light, which is good for chickens, but if you cut two windows across from each other, you get a natural cross ventilation. Don't forget to mask up, peeps. Oh wait, then I realized it didn't do any good, so I said screw it. I'm such a stinker. Let's keep the critters out, shall we? Chicken wire stapled to the inside will do just fine. Remember that door opening I cut earlier? Well, waste not, want not. Add some framing to the inside of that panel, and maybe some trim to the outside of the panel. And just like that, voila, a panel, no longer a panel. It's a door in disguise. Or maybe it's not really in disguise anymore because it actually looks like a door. It would be a panel in disguise. But, you know, I just put way too much thought into that. Okay. Oh yeah, trim the chicken coop to your liking. Make it look good. Now the chicken coop door, I'm going to have a separate video on. I installed an automatic chicken coop door that opens at sunrise, closes at sundown because I'm lazy. Oh, and I almost forgot, the ridge cap for the roof. The proper way for this to be installed, ladies and gentlemen, is as follows. Step 1, get a ladder. Step 2, make ladder as rickety as possible. Step 3, climb that rickety ladder. That's it. Add furniture as desired. I added a wall hanging feeder, some nest boxes, as well as some exterior decor. Now all that's left is to sit back and get offended at whoever says Nice coop. Where'd you buy it? Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if this is your first time here. Smash the thumbs up. You know what? You've heard all this before. Peace.